We live in a time when it's easier than ever to become a millionaire. Now, most of the modern day millionaires that we see today were not born into wealth. So looking at a survey from WealthX found out that 68% of individuals that have 30 million or more, which again is a pretty big percentage at 68%, we're not born into it. They made it themselves. Furthermore, the Fidelity study shows that 88% of all millionaires are entirely self-made. That is right. That only leaves a very small 12% that was literally born into the wealth that they didn't inherit. From self-made millionaires, wealth comes is not a super easy process, but that's what we're going to be looking at today. How you can really make $1 million plus and make sure that you make it essentially work for you. Now, 30% of all the millionaires that were surveyed showed that they were really focused on the preservation of wealth. So not really the building or the exponential growth of it, but it was the preservation factor. While another 20%, so right there includes 50% of the millionaires, were focused entirely on growing the fortune. Now, of course, one of the big things when you look at modern day millionaires and millionaires in general, they are very multidimensional, which again is very easy to understand. They don't only look at one path or two paths, they look at every path that is available to them to go ahead and build their wealth. So how can we learn from these millionaires that we study and really seeing at the path to being wealthy? Now, number one, investing in different places and different avenues. That is right. We talk about this a lot when it comes to the investing channel. Don't put all of your eggs into one basket. This means the diversification of investments will help mitigate your risk, making sure that all your money is not in something risky, because if it goes south, essentially you could lose everything. This might mean that you're in stocks, you're in bonds, you're in real estate, you're in crypto, you're in all kinds of diversified investments across all different channels, making sure if there's a big dip, let's say in crypto or the stock market, you can make it up by some of the dividend stocks or some of the REITs that you possibly have, possibly some of the bonds that you're holding on to. It makes a really big difference when you look at the diversification, especially when you start getting exponential income. Now, when we look at this number two, having multiple income streams. Now, this, of course, for me, many self-made millionaires come from several different places. When you think of a salary, and this is kind of big picture, when you look at a normal job, normal 9 to 5, you're working 40 hours a week, there is only so much time in the day. There's only so much time that you can exponentially earn money. If you're making $20, $30, $40 an hour, there are only so many hours in a work week that you can work. You have to diversify. You have to come up with multiple income streams, which really makes a big difference. This could also include dividends from investments. This could be income from REITs, income from rental properties. You could look at other business opportunities that are out there, to really name a few. Now, when one income stream slows down, there is another one that can take its place. So millionaires really focus on passive income, which is money that is essentially generated without having to put in time or without having to put in much time and effort to really have another income stream. Now, for me personally, I have my salary, which is great. I have YouTube, which the channel is monetized. Go ahead and subscribe to it if you want to. Loving all of the content that we're putting out there. But when you look at that, when you look at the dividends from investments, when you look at income from REITs, when you look at the regular income from CDs, when you look at the high yield savings accounts, there's a lot of different ways that you can earn passive income. It's just up to you to essentially save some of that money. Now, looking at number three, reducing your expenses. Now, this is kind of something that I want to spend a little bit of time about. Becoming wealthy, many millionaires create a habit of spending and limiting the spending that they do. Now, of course, we do see millionaires that might have, some expensive cars, maybe a more expensive house. For a lot of millionaires, it is not about the glitz and the glam. It is about how much money is in the bank and exactly what they're doing it for. They devise really a plan with their money, where they're going to earn, what strategic avenues that they have with their finances. They know where their money is, and they know how to cut costs and eliminate anything unnecessary that essentially is going to prevent them from growing any of their investment accounts, which makes a really big difference. Now, if you're a fan of Dave Ramsey, we know reducing and eliminating the expenses, getting rid of the debt is absolutely huge. Even looking at Mark Cuban, of course, eliminating debt, getting rid of debt is a solid way. There are not many millionaires out there that use debt to actually finance everything that they have. I know there are some that kind of play the game, but overall, to me, in my opinion, and I know a lot of other millionaires as well, kind of ring that exact same bell, that debt really takes away from your income. And of course, the next one in here, save, save, save. That is right. You earn your money, you pay your expenses. Whatever you have left gives you the ability to invest money, gives you the ability to save money. One of the most common themes that you hear from self-made millionaires is holding on to your money, putting money into an investment account where it is going to earn interest. Now, this for a majority of people that are holding money at, let's say, a JP Morgan Chase, we have Wells Fargo, we have Bank of America, in just regular accounts, even credit unions, banks, credit unions, any of them, that you're holding it in a very low interest account where it's a 0.3, 0.03, whatever it is, guys, your money that is sitting in financial institutions for a majority of us is just getting eaten up by interest every single year, meaning that if inflation is, 3%, 5%, 7%, if you're not hedging out or beating that number of inflation, you're losing money by holding your money in the bank, which is the big reason why I don't sit on a lot of cash short of the emergency fund. We stockade essentially the emergency fund set aside. Every single dollar above and beyond that goes right into an investment account, which it grows. And I tell you what, if you caught some of the investment videos, it really does grow, and it grows exponentially. Now, there's also some common traits that we see that kind of run between millionaires, which I do want to cover as well. Number one, setting ambitious goals and acting on them. This is one of the biggest things when you put ideas and dreams into action, making sure whether you want to start a business, you want to do professional, they are always looking at and really going after self-improvement. The determination is the common driver that we see among millionaires without any inheritance, coming from absolutely nothing, but it is the determination. They're reading books, they're studying, they have mentors, they have developmental programs. They know what they want to do. They know exactly how to get there because they have mapped it out. Looking at the second one is mentors. They always say when you look at self-made millionaires, they can't possess or can't possibly do everything by themselves. This is when they know the in and outs of different people. They know the financial system, and also making sure that you have the insight with the best minds in the industry. Because again, if you're looking to grow exactly what you have, it is going to pay off. They surround themselves with people that essentially are going to be on the same pace or on the same par with them, or people that are really going to help them. This could include investment advisors. This could be tax advisors. This could be, lawyers. There's a lot of different ways that you could look at this, but making sure not only do you have mentors for the self-development, but also looking at the growth part with how are you going to protect everything legally with everything that is going on. Now, next one we look at, they look for feedback. Self-made millionaires, self-improvement never stops. That is right. Looking for critique, looking for business ideas, looking for business practices, really focusing on how they have any blind spots, where they can guarantee that ventures and businesses will be successful, as well as the money that they're putting into investments. How are they going to get the return? What is the time frame? They kind of know all the ins and outs when it comes to investing, especially when it comes out of the stock market. And of course, they are not afraid to fail. Majority of people won't even go out and start doing anything new with the fear of failure. It is really the learning tool that we have to get over. It's kind of the basic psychological aspects that we see with humans today, where having risk and going through calculated risk, really understanding how each scenario plays out, making sure you know the reward that you're going to get out of there if you do succeed. And when we look at some of the best inventors, even of our time, looking at how many times it takes to fail experiments, knowing failure very well before he made the light bulb, of course, Thomas Edison, and knowing finally the value of time. Time is money, and millionaires know it very, very well. They quickly learn to manage their time where there is no reason to trade time for nothing at all. So that means focusing on the self-development, not focusing on the TV, really spending time with family, with friends, really knowing the value of time. So what do millionaires do exactly with their money? This again was very interesting to me. When it comes to an investment strategy, self-made millionaires add equity investments, and things like real estate are going to make millionaires. Now, of course, when you think of real estate, big picture, especially when you look at REITs, there are going to be, and there's always going to be, a place where people have to live. That's right, residential real estate will never go away. We'll see the ups and downs, but overall, it is never going away. They also look at mutual funds. We look at stocks. We look at retirement accounts. Millionaires focus putting their money where they're going to get the best return, making sure that the lump sum that they're putting there or the investment is not too large, that it is not going to depreciate. A lot of people even drive used cars when it comes to millionaires because we know that automobiles are the biggest depreciating asset in the world, which is kind of crazy. Key for millionaires is they save the money before they spend it. That is right. Regardless of how much money they earn, whatever they make, they save the money and they're paying for things as they buy them. And you know what? Imagine if that was the case. If you didn't go out and you didn't finance a house, you didn't finance a car, you didn't finance pretty much everything in your life, and you had the ability because you saved money like we used to do once upon a time to buy the things that you actually wanted, paying cash for them. Now, of course, key takeaways on this: millionaires put it where it can grow and where it can grow the most. This could be mutual funds, this could be stocks, this could be bonds, retirement accounts. That's the reason why we see such big shifts when we see major moves in the market where the stock market's down, a lot more money going into bonds, stock market's up, a lot more money flowing that way. Same with cryptocurrency. It is the ups and downs of people that have a ton of money. So when you think of self-made millionaires, there are a lot of names on this list, mainly Warren Buffett, which you know if you've caught any of my videos, the most famous and richest person in the world. Technically, he does not fall in the millionaire list because he is well over a billionaire at this point, but really mentioned on this list because he is self-made. That is right. He did not come from money. The CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, or the chairman, made his first million running a hedge fund and is known for the sound financial principles. When you look at him and the late Charlie Munger, living in the same house for 30 years, taking 30 years to pay it off, which again, I know is against the philosophy of Dave Ramsey and a couple other individuals. Really staying in the house and being happy with what you have is something that we can really take away from Warren Buffett and the way that he lives. So, all right, guys, so that is going to do it. How most millionaires got rich. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video.